Hello everyone and welcome to Thursday Live Lessons here at Ukulele Underground. My name is Aldrine Guerrero. I'm joined by my two brothers, Mr. Aaron the Voice Nakamura. Say what's up, Aaron.
What's up?
Mr. Kahai the Legend Fergan. Say what's up, Kahai.
What's up? My mic's not the right way. I'm gonna mute it and then
It's pretty early to be having some technical difficulties already.
Ma'am.
There it is. There you go.
Okay, I got it.
So you guys can't see it like Kahai, but from my angle, you look like you're like a DJ of like Loveline, like when it's down like this, right? That's how like professional radio people like have their have their microphones like upside down like this, you know.
That's what I'm doing. I'm DJing, I'm doing live lesson and I'm DJing. At the same time.
DJ Fergan. What would be your DJ name?
What? In school, we talked about some kind of what would be your nickname? And I think I said rice pudding.
DJ RP.
Yeah. I like that. I'll go with that.
Rice P. No, DJ Rice P. Somebody makes that shirt. Somebody make that shirt. DJ Rice P. Just have Kahai's face on it.
Cause I'm Japanese and Okinawan, but I'm American Japanese and Okinawan, so it's creamy, right?
Okay,
it's not real rice pudding. It's
Cozy Shack.
Cozy Shack. Yeah. Now we're not talking what is that one place the luau down the road? They have really good rice pudding there.
Yeah,
Smith's. It's not Smith's rice pudding. It's Cozy Shack.
Yeah.
All right. So how Thursday Live Lesson works is you guys send us your questions and we give you some answers to those questions. Whether it be by email, through Ukulele Underground, through word of mouth, it doesn't matter. We're gonna answer them as best as we can. So I answer them, and then these two guys chime in with their answers, and we try to come up a mega, ultra, super duper answer just for you. And that's what we're gonna do right now. And if we don't have any questions, we'll just discuss some ukulele related topics, and it's always fun. It's always a good time, and we do have stuff to talk about today. So, right on, Kahai, hit me up with a question, buddy.
This isn't a question, but last time during the live lesson, John sent this in, and then he sent it in through email, so I didn't check my email, so I didn't get to it.
Okay.
But I told him we'll get to it today.
Mm-hmm.
He said, a discussion that I always enjoy as a beginner is practice planning. Matt did a good series discussing practicing, and I understand that it's different for each player and something that has a lot of different approaches. I would enjoy a general discussion amongst you guys based on your personal experience. I know each one of you have had a different experience, which I would find interesting and informative. Not looking for a tutorial, just a discussion to provide this newbie some insights. So thanks.
All right, so he's asking about practice and stuff, and just us talking about practice. I think there's a whole there's an episode that we did already on practice, so make sure you check that out. But I mean, it's not like we're not gonna answer you right now, so just go ahead, but check that out because that goes at full length. I think of us talking about our practice.
I think I think when we did it, we kind of went into how to do best practices, right?
Yeah.
And splitting up your time and stuff. But then I think it sounds like John is wanting more personal, if we practice, how do we practice, and what do we focus on, or maybe.
You don't want to hear how I practice. I did some Rock Lee practicing back in the day. That's a reoccurring character in the show, Rock Lee.
I think we've linked to him a couple times in the description, him taking off his weights and stuff.
So now Kira has to find the clips of when Rock Lee was just starting out, just practicing his taijutsu. Because that part right there, I think the one where we linked is where he took off his weights and stuff. So we gotta look for Guy Sensei, it's a Rock Lee guy trade. Anyway, so I'll go first. As a beginner, let's go how I would practice now and how I would practice back then. So I would practice now. I'd follow my band teacher's advice, which is the 30 minutes, and I've talked about this at length before, which is 30 minutes every day, which is, and practice is definitely different from playing. So if you're just kind of jamming some songs and you're playing, I wouldn't really consider that as practice because you're not really honing in on techniques, on your form and all that, other stuff. You're just having fun. You're playing. I mean, that's why we refer to it as playing or jamming and stuff. But if you want to sit down and practice, that's you kind of drilling yourself with some techniques, with some scales, with timing and with dexterity. It's a lot of just working on yourself and working on like the skills in general, not necessarily because if you jam a song and you're like learning a song, you only really get good at that song and whatever techniques is within that song. But if you just but if you practice general like techniques and scales and stuff, that could apply to like hundreds if not thousands of songs that you could that you can put all that practice into. So the 30 minutes, I usually give myself a time limit, because if you can't over practice, the brain can only handle so much information, it can only retain so much information, and you want to be you want to take one step forward every time and not taking 2 steps and then 3 steps back or anything like that. So you want to make sure that your retention is is really good, and you know what you practice, and making sure that you understand the things that you practice. All right, and over practice will will affect that if you over practice. So 30 minutes a day is a really good really good thing. I'm not saying if you go 31 minutes it's like too much. No, you can base it off of whatever you feel. This is just what my my band director when I was in high school suggested as a half an hour every day kind of practice. If you if you don't get to practice for one day, it's not like I'm gonna practice 1 hour the next day. That's still over practice. I would make it maybe 45 and 45 for 2 days. That's kind of what I would do. I would then break it up into, like I said, scale work, or warm up first, scale work, and some technique work, and maybe some speed or dexterity kind of work after that. We have videos here that will help you guys to do that, and I think they're in like 30-minute patches, right?
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah. So if you really want a kind of a guided practice, we do have guided video practice here on Ukulele Underground. Now, with that said,
it's called practice sessions.
Yeah, practice sessions. Yeah. So with that said, back in the day, and I'm talking over practice, over practice, because I would like and I've said this before, I would come home from school, and in school I'll be jamming and playing with my friends. So it's not considered practice. And then what I would do is I would have these, I would refer to as ukulele Bibles, like these albums that like it just had some great ukulele on them. And I had a TV and a PlayStation 1, so I would put one album at a time, and I would just let it play. Like I wouldn't repeat songs. I would just let it play, and I wouldn't skip songs either. So what I would do is I would learn like the entire catalog of that, of that album, and I would tune my ukulele specifically to that album, because sometimes it would be half step down, sometimes it would be at 440, and I would just basically try to see if I can match note for note each one. And that's why we feel that play-alongs are so important, because you can only teach somebody the notes and how to play it, but it's another thing to kind of get the feel and get the right phrasing and the and the groove of all these tunes. So play-alongs are super duper important to just kind of see if you can emulate the groove of of what I did, or what what some of our guest musicians do. So it's good to kind of do that. And I would do it for hours. I'd come home from school like 3:00, and I would eat dinner at 7, and just straight be just in my room like every day for like at least a couple years. It was, so I put in like it was like 10,000 hours of like whatever. I think I logged in 10,000 hours like the first year and a half.
Do you want to, or can you mention some of the
albums? Yeah. So you have all. I shouldn't say all. I have the first 3 Kyle Critters albums, because I didn't have the fourth one. The fourth one was Making Waves. The first one being Tropical Hawaiian Day. Second one being Valley Style. The third one being On Fire. And that's why you see a lot of like Kyle Critter Boys songs on our tutorials, because that's kind of what inspired me, and what I feel like are some iconic ukulele ukulele riffs and ukulele pickings from straight from Hawaii. So a lot of the content here at Ukulele Underground is just based on like what I grew up with and what I consider are like iconic ukulele riffs. Okay, so those 3. Let's see, Pure Heart 1 and 2 definitely, and 2.5 if you can get the Christmas one. Let's see, I would have other other CDs. I wouldn't play like all the way, but those I would play like all the way. And there's others like Herb Alta Jr. and that one, Ukulele Dream, I believe is one. That one, like I would go to specific songs. I wouldn't do the whole album, but the first 5 that I mentioned, those are like my ukulele Bibles. These ones are just small little passages from the book of Herb or something like. And So I would do like G minor Fleas, was in there. Let's see, Aloha no Honolulu, was in there as well. There's some good Glass Ball Slack Key, or like I don't know, he does one. I don't know if that's called Glass Ball. It's something else, but it's in that same album with I think it's called Ukulele Dream. I don't remember like what the album is called, but there is no, that one's from Pure and Simple, I believe. Ukulele Dream had something else in there. I think that's. Anyway, I'm like getting it kind of crossed out, but those first 5 definitely Pure Heart and Kyle Creative Boys. And Pure Heart was Jake's old band, so you can kind of see where my influences came from. Jake Shimabukuro, Troy Fernandez, those two were like like the ukulele like pioneers, I guess, like for myself. I mean, I know there's like a bunch of other ukulele players like Ota-san and Peter Moon and stuff. And I had the Sunday Manoa album was another one that I that I kind of jammed with. So Palolo is another album that I jammed with. So that's why on the UG Plus we have like TNC was from there. Hey Hawaii was from there. Nani Waimea is from there. Tears on My Pillow. TNC. That's a great album. You can find the first Palolo album. All those and Land Down Under is in there as well. We still jam that song, so it's really good. And it's kind of reminiscent of old Sunday Manoa because a lot of their songs are like Sunday Manoa songs and or songs that they covered in that album, but so good. If you guys can find the first Palolo album, definitely get it. I don't know if you can eBay it or whatever, but it's such a good album for Hawaiian music, Hawaiian style ukulele playing. All the Kyle Creative Boys albums, all the Pure Heart albums. Those are like my ukulele bibles.
I think that's like, or Kyle Creative Boys and like Palolo. I think that's like pretty standard for like, even if you don't play ukulele in Hawaii, it's like you're gonna hear that music at like a party or something, right? Like, and it's just I'd be surprised if somebody in Hawaii like didn't, even if they didn't maybe know like, oh, who's Kyle Creative Boys? Yeah. You play like one of their songs, you're gonna be like, oh, I know that song though. Yeah. Like I can recognize that song totally. Yeah. Like it's like everywhere. So. And
when I was practicing, I was, I'm like a kid. And I was kind of vain. I'm like, yeah, I wanna, like, I could picture myself in like in a stage and like performing for these people. So in my room with my PlayStation that I was using to play the CDs with. There's like I had a big mirror like where I got ready every morning for school and stuff, and I would just like be practicing in front of the mirror and like just kind of singing and like pretending I was on stage and like what would I look like if if I was on stage playing this song, and I'm like, man, it looks so cool, and just that's practice. And it was cool because when I went to high school and I was a part of like Kahai Singers, which is like this chorus group in high school, and they practice in front of like mirrors, all their like dance routines of the singing and whatever. So I'm like, hey, I do this at home. They're like, you do? I'm like, no. No, I mean, no, I do this here for third period.
Hey, what nerd said that? Beat you up.
Exactly. So those are my practice approaches. I mean, you can get hardcore if you have that time. I mean, I only had that time in high school. I don't have that kind of time now. So I'm not going to be like, how you can get really good is if you just eat, breathe, and sleep ukulele. I mean, you do that with anything, you'd definitely be pretty good at it. So, you guys. You guys want to talk about your practice regimens?
Well, I'm not really that good at ukulele, so.
But how would you practice anything? I mean, like just practice in general. Maybe if we step out of the ukulele thing, how would you approach practicing? Any skill that you want to get good at?
Could you mention how you practice running? Maybe when you started, maybe, like when you're first trying to get into.
Did you immerse yourself in it and get like really analyze everything and get to know stuff?
Yeah, I think with anything is you just kind of follow whatever like moves you, right? So if you're interested in something, you're gonna look up how other people do it. You're gonna kind of emulate them. Yeah. You're gonna figure out how they move, how they do everything, and then you're gonna imagine yourself as if you are that person. And then that's it. You just like, if you're moved to do that, or if you're inspired by whoever it is, then you're just gonna go research a bunch of that stuff and then just do that. And I think that's kind of what we kind of want to emphasize more this year, is that like, you know, with our new format, you're just like watching, you're like you're kind of emulating what you see, what you hear, and you're just practicing that, you know, just imagining that hand is your hand, and you're doing that.
It's true, because that's exactly what it did when you're doing it in front of a mirror and stuff.
Or even listening, right? You're listening to the song, and then
me playing those riffs,
imagining that you're the one making those sounds, and that's how you get closer and closer to it.
I think and then people who are like, oh, I have a hard time, they want it explained, or they want to like think about, like, you know, what they're doing. But the problem is, like, if you're thinking about what you're doing, it's already like too slow. So you can't like,
it's like one step removed. You
have to really like play like somebody. You have to like take out the step of like, thinking about whatever they're doing and like analyzing and stuff. You just kind of like have to let your body instinctively just try and like recreate it. And I think that's like the best way.
What about you, Kahai?
Like I've always been terrible with practice. Like I forget when I started piano, but you know, I did piano, and every week I would go back to the piano teacher, and they're like, "Did you practice?" I'm like, "No." Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't practice. It's like, okay, like let's just keep trying to play the song. So I've never done like anything where it's like really regimented, like I'm gonna do 20 minutes of scales, or I'm gonna do I think I've tried that like once or twice, and then like it's like I don't know, I can't stick to just keep playing scales. I need to like, my brain needs to be divided amongst other things. So like what I found and what I use as like a warm-up, like if I want to learn a song and I know that the song is hard and I'm gonna get into it, before I play or before I try to play the song and before I like try to learn it, I'll put on like a playlist of like random songs and like just look on YouTube, like and I look for like EDM songs or like lo-fi hip-hop,
just jam along to that.
Yeah, because those things don't have like, usually have the frequencies or the tones of my guitar, so I can like pretty easily distinctly tell what is my guitar and what is those things. It doesn't get mixed up. And then I let those play, and then I just try to like figure out the songs in the time of them playing, and then once they move to the next song, I just jump to the next song and I try to figure that one out. And I do this like, for maybe like half an hour, and I find that it's good, and I find that I play it better because like I'm not really worried about like, am I playing the right notes, am I playing the right key in this song. I'm just trying to think like, what I gotta find like whatever I can in the amount of time of the song, and when it's gone, it's like, okay, that's it, and move on to the next song. I can't keep thinking about this one. So like, and then by the end of it, I feel like my hands are warmed up, and it kind of is like you practice, or at least I practice scales, because if I think it's like, oh, this is in this key, then I'll play the scale to confirm it, right? Like confirm or deny, like, oh, it is in this key, or it's like, oh no, it's like maybe a mode off or something. So I for that, I feel like that works better for me, because it's not just straight like sitting down and you're like playing whatever scales
what you have to play.
Modes. It's like, kind of for me, it's more about the application. Like I'm trying to apply playing modes and scales to already like listening and ingesting music through like hearing, right?
And it's like stimulating you creatively, like you're like trying to create. I'm sure you didn't just like try to figure out the riff, like I'm sure you're like playing off of the riff and like improvising at the same time and stuff.
Because like I don't have the time to like figure out note for note, right? And I don't take the time to like, okay, I'm gonna go back 5 seconds. I just have to be like, sometimes I'll, if it's like a repeating riff, I'll be like, okay, I can figure that out, because it's obviously like a melody or a motif in the song. But then if not, it's just like figuring out what key it's in, and then figuring out how to like improvise or do something in it. And then by that time, it's like already moving on to the next song. So I think that like for me, that works really well. So if people ever feel like warming up or practicing just scales is boring, maybe give that a try. And kind of opens you. Don't try to make it like, oh, I gotta find like the perfect songs for me or songs that I like. Like just find random stuff. Like do Pandora or whatever or Spotify. And do like the tops or
whatever playlist stuff that you like,
or stuff that is okay, but it doesn't have to be like your favorites or things that you have to worry about learning. I think that makes it way easier because then you're just like, I don't really care what notes I'm playing. I'm just gonna play whatever, Like when you have that feeling of like, it's kind of like relaxed, like not really worrying about what you're playing. I think you play way better than when you're like, oh no, I'm playing Europa. I gotta play every note correct. Like, you can kind of hear that nervousness in your playing.
And even Europa, like if you just kind of let it go and just play, like it comes out a lot better. Usually, like when I get lost, that's when like we get lost in the song, like that's when it turns out really good. But if I like bring myself back in, it's like, oh, what's the next part? That's when I mess it up. It's like
It's kind of like the idea is like meditation, right?
Yeah.
It's like if you catch yourself like thinking in meditation, then it almost like breaks the spell, and it's like, oh no. and so like what you want to be good at is just to get in the zone and then just like let it go. It's like, okay, I'm playing. Don't worry about it. Just keep playing.
Just play. Yeah. And same thing like especially with lyrics and stuff. And Aaron knows this. Like if I think about what the next line is gonna be, I'm not gonna remember it. But if I just start singing, like it'll come. Like I don't know. It's pretty weird because if I just let my brain or just let myself take control, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. Like if I think about it, then it's not gonna happen. If I just let it go and just let my body and my my voice kind of do the thing. Turns out pretty well.
It's kind of like there's like a little person in your head, right? And then like when you start like thinking about stuff, then they're like, oh no, and they're pulling all the levers and everything. But then they end up making the machine like work less.
Yeah, because then you start to convince yourself that something is wrong. So I'm like, like what is the next line? Did I forget it? And then bam, then you do. You do forget it.
I think a lot of problems that people have like with playing and stuff, and I think a lot of times if somebody says like, oh, it's just too fast, then I think it's like they're trying to think too much, and that's holding them back. Like overthinking is definitely a problem where it's like, I don't know. I was telling Aaron that I watched a movie about like a little kid learning how to ride a bike. And they talk about like when you learn how to ride a bike, you just look out to the horizon and you don't look down at your feet. And I think like that's true for a lot of learning, is that you can't think about like the details of what's going on, and it helps if you just like look out past like what you're doing, right? And hear the for music is like you want to hear the big picture. You don't want to hear the small when you realize you hit a wrong note, then it's just like, oh no. that's when you hear people play a wrong note and then there's just a big gap of silence, right? It's like but then like people who are more used to it, they'll just like keep going. There's no stop, so there's no time to pause and think about like, oh, that's a wrong note.
So there's our own approaches to practicing and stuff, and there's definitely different ways that you can approach practice, but that's kind of how we do it, and that's why we did the practice sessions. Because if you really don't know where to start or have no idea how to do a structured practice, just put one of those on and you're good.
So something else that I hear you tell a lot of beginners is like pick a few songs, right? And like that's your goal for
that week.
Learning like a couple songs and beginner songs.
I tell people that like go to the song lessons that we have here in Ukulele Underground and pick 3 that you really like. For that week. So that week you spend your time learning those 3 songs, and if you can just get like just the strumming and the chords and stuff, that's good. Then that means that's 3 more songs that you're able to play. If you can get the picking, awesome. And then by when the week is over, pick 3 new songs. Dump those 3. Don't worry about them and stuff, because you want to move, you want to move on. You already learned whatever you can within that week, and just learn 3 new ones, then learn another 3 new ones like on the next week, and then maybe like revisit next month, revisit one of the songs that like that you want to revisit. But you're mainly just building like a huge repertoire and like and learning how to play a bunch of different songs instead of trying to just learn one, which is like too difficult or whatever, and you spend like a whole month, 2 months, whole year trying to learn that one song and not moving forward.
To me, like a good musician is like somebody who knows like a bunch of different songs, or like they know how to adapt to a bunch of different songs, be able to play a bunch of different songs. And so it's kind of is like people think like people want to like try and be like, I'm gonna persevere and get this one song, but it kind of like you don't realize that even kind of like putting those on the back burner and learning something else, you're probably growing faster just by learning something else than like sticking with that.
I remember back when this latest like ukulele boom, While My Guitar Gently Weeps was like a big deal, and a lot of people were like, man, okay, that's my goal, is to like learn that song. A lot of people just go and just learn that song, not knowing that like the techniques needed to play that song correctly is at least a year, 2 years of like of practice, So it's just like, no, but I just want to play just this, I just want to learn just this song.
I think that's like a year or two just to get the techniques right.
Yeah.
And that's not even counting for like the feel.
Phrasing,
or
groove.
If you heard Jake play it, like wanting to play it like Jake, that is just, playing it like Jake is just like a culmination of all of his experience. So it's like not saying that like no one can like play that song. I've definitely seen some like Asian kids play that song like within mere months, but it's for us normal humans, it's tough, and it might be a little bit detrimental to what we can accomplish if we just kind of put that on the back burner for a little bit and learn the proper techniques. But I bet those kids too, like if you ask them like, oh, what did you work on besides that, they'll tell you like, oh, I love all these other songs, right? Like it's not just that I focused on just this one song. Especially kids, like like you probably can't have them sit down and learn like one song for 5 months. They're gonna get bored of it, and they're gonna want to like, I want to learn something else, like what song should I learn next? So it's like I bet all those kids who you think like, man, they just worked really hard and they're so young and they got better so fast, like you don't see all the other things that they're working on at the same time, or it really is like just it comes all together into that final piece, but you don't see like all the extra work.
I used to think that a lot, and I mean I used to get messages upon messages upon messages like, do you have the tabs or teach While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and I would look at their channel and like, oh man, you're like just barely hanging on to like Somewhere Over the Rainbow, I was like, oh, look up Dominator tabs, he has the tabs. If you want to do that, that's your thing. You know what I mean? I'm still pretty nice to people. I'm not gonna be like, no, you're not ready, you're not worthy for that song. I was like, no, well, Dominator's tabs, go check out Dominator's tabs. But like in my mind, I'm like, that's okay. Well, I mean, if you can do it, that's cool, But like, I advise you not to do it. But it's only in my mind. I'm not gonna tell them. Like,
I mean, because that's the thing too, is that if that's what inspires them,
exactly,
then that'll push them. But you'll figure out pretty quickly what you don't know.
Hopefully, like
I want to run an ultra marathon. All right. Like, okay, you can sign up for it and stuff.
And it's like hopefully they learn to like find other songs, or they learn to love other songs to play too. Because if you just set your goal as one song, that is a pretty boring that's gonna make like practicing and playing really unenjoyable. Like changing it up with different songs makes it way better, makes it easier to digest.
All right, so that answers it, I mean, once again, but thank you for your question. Kahai, do we have another one?
We got one in the chat.
Okay.
So Laogao asked, any song challenges coming up? And I don't know if Laogao means like
songwriting challenge, or
yeah, like Thursday live lesson challenge or ukulele challenge.
Yeah, we should do one of these today.
Yeah.
The songwriting challenge.
Because it's been a week since we like.
Yeah.
The deadline for the last one.
So what we'll do on today, we'll do a songwriting challenge today. As far as song challenge goes,
like
we just
ukulele challenge, the show.
Challenge. We just did one. So
but it'll take a while.
Yeah.
Sometime this month we'll put it up.
When do you usually put those up?
Whenever I get it done.
Okay, there's no set schedule for it, but usually once a month we post something. Yeah, we post a ukulele challenge. So look for it sometime this month. It's fun. This next one is a lot of fun. It's not an easy. It is a song challenge. It's not like one of those teach 5 people or whatever, or like it's not a physical challenge. It's another song challenge, and it's a difficult song. It's a difficult song, but we managed to kind of make it fun. And it'll be good. It'll be. I can't say anymore. I don't want to spoil. I don't want to bring spoilers. It's like Endgame. Like just no spoilers. No spoilers.
Also, if U Plus members or anybody who's listening has ideas for challenges, send it our way. Because we. And
always kind of thinking of something for the next one.
Are you sick, Gary? You sound
a little bit, yeah.
Congested. I'm like,
I've been fighting it for the past 3 days.
Oh no!
And so just kind of barely staving it off.
So we're gonna be singing "Wise Man Say."
Yeah, very low.
And dang, Aaron's gonna kill it. It's gonna be great, ladies.
Hopefully,
ladies,
hopefully I'm okay.
Before you go on stage, Aaron, too, can you also smoke a whole pack of cigarettes? You should just open up the pack and stick the whole thing in your mouth and then just
like in a cartoon way. Yeah. So, but I've really been liking these challenges, and it's putting me back in that same mindset that I did, when I was talking about being in my room and stuff, and kind of figuring out those songs. It kind of brings me back to that. So it's pretty cool to be able to share my process with you guys and with my friends and stuff. And it's always fun to fail also. Let's just say that. It's always fun to fail at these things, because a lot of people have been kind of following me for a long time. They're like, "No, Aldrine's good, right?" It's like, Aldrine's maybe not as good as you think sometimes. So. And sometimes he is. Sometimes he's as good as you think.
But I think the previous one, the Teach 5 People too, people really like that, and they kind of just I don't know, I think that was really good, because people just almost seeing other people interact with the ukulele, or even I know some people are like, "Oh, this totally inspired me. I'm gonna teach my kids to play, or I'm gonna teach somebody I know or something." So it was cool, because it was a little bit unfair, because I knew the challenge before coming in and stuff. So part of the challenge is really just the mystery of it. I come in and I don't know what we're doing for that day. So whenever you guys watch the beginning of these videos and stuff, I'm just like, I'm kind of scared. What are we doing today? It's legit fear. Because they could be like, "No, we're gonna do Mozart's whatever," and I'm like, "No, I'm just gonna wave my white flag now, and I'm not gonna be able to do that. I'm sorry, or we're gonna be doing Kahai Gamiao's Unknown." I'm like, I'm gonna wave my white flag right now. I may maybe get 10%, 20%, or we'll just do it to see how hilarious it would be. So. Sometimes I do get really scared for some of these challenges. Koi was a really scary one for me, but I think I did okay with Koi, but it was super scary. The Megalovania, the first episode, that was super scary. Even though it was in my wheelhouse of video games and stuff, it doesn't make it easy, but it just makes me like it. But it doesn't make it easier for me to figure out. So I've been really enjoying these challenges, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying them too. I think when we filmed the last challenge, you mentioned that Koi was a little bit harder for you, because you're not used to
the style.
And from Japan, right? Specifically,
Japanese players have a specific style that I'm just not used to. I can figure it out and stuff, and I can kind of do, and even their groove, their groove is different. Speaking of which, speaking of Japanese players, Kias, our friend of the show, Kias from Japan. He writes a bunch of ukulele books that I just rediscovered, I should say, because I knew he wrote books and stuff, but I checked out like what he's been writing lately. He's got so much good books. Even though it's in Japanese, I think there's like, just music is pretty universal. I think you can still learn music. And his latest one is like carpenters for the ukulele. So he did like a lot of cool little like carpenters arrangements.
Oh,
like,
nice.
Oh man, that's so cool. So like Close to You, Top of the World and stuff. And I think Rainy Days and Mondays. So good. Like I want to get a collection of Kiosk books. Kiosk, Kyas, if you guys were wondering. Kyas, Kiosk from Japan. I'm sure you can find like his books maybe on Amazon or something, or Amazon Japan, or wherever you can find it. It's good stuff. He's a really good arranger, really good ukulele player, and just a beast at the instrument. And not just he does stuff for electric guitar as well, and acoustic guitar and stuff. He's a beast. That guy's really good.
I just watched a video where it's a guy. This guy's a saxophone player, and then he just said like he discovered like anime and Japanese like games and stuff, and he fell in love with like that style of music. And then he said like the reason why Japanese music too is like different is because they don't really have like slurs in their when they're speaking. So a lot of when they speak, it's like very to the point, right? Like
that makes sense.
This is how I speak, right? It's not. It's you don't kind of have like that, like what is it like? Kind of swung rhythm or slurs and stuff that you would have in English. So even hearing like Japanese arrangements, like when you said like, oh, he arranged the Carpenters, I was like, oh, I bet that sounds really good. Yeah. Like with that Japanese like mindset, right? Like their arrangements, even though it's like the same song, it comes out like totally different, and it just has like a different feeling.
I'm a total fanboy for like Japanese players, like in general, because they're like my thing. So here's my thing is melody. I am such a sucker for melody, and Japanese players have got that down. Like I've told you guys about Fulari Pad. I've told you guys about Daisuke or Daichi. Also Daisuke from Fulari Pad, but Daichi as well, and Kiosk now. And if you listen to these players, it's like their melody lines are spot on. I mean, not taking anything away from like other players and stuff, but that's the kind of music that really moves me. And I know everyone's got their own like personal preferences. Like I love hearing players like Taimani Gardner and Kahai Gamiao and stuff, but there are really a lot of like technical stuff that they're doing, but not as much melody as I would like. I mean, I'm not saying there's no melody at all. There are melodies in there, but it's just, I want that nice, catchy, almost pop-like melodies. I want pop melodies. And when I write music, like I always try to surround it like based on the melody of what I do. Like all the songs in say Bandito Tyler have like, if I were to write lyrics to it, I could, because the melody is that like pronounced.
Yeah, I think they write a good motif, right?
Yeah,
and they make sure to come back to it, and not just like I play that at the beginning at the end of the song. Did you guys recognize it? Like when you said Fulari Pad, I just imagined their song that they played on High Sessions. I don't know what it's called, but like I can clearly hear the melody line to it, right? The one where they stop, and they both start playing again,
and then they point to the sky. Like I did a collaboration with Fulari Pad. Like myself and Calais did a song with Fulari Pad called All My Friends, and I remember like when they first showed it to us, like they had these we were practicing I believe in Kyoto with Fulari Pad, because we were going to play it for a show that night, and they gave us the sheet music, and I was like, this is so pro. Like they had everything, they had like all this stuff like lined up, and I'm like, and they're like, okay, Aldrine, this is your part, and Calais is your part, Daisuke, this is your part, and Hide, this is your part, and Aaron, you can play guitar. Aaron just strum the chords or something, and it's really cool. Like I think so like when you hear it, you can even sing it. Like after just one listening, you're like ba 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 bum ba bum ba dum ba ba da dum. And You know, it's like it's not hard, or it's not like a really like virtuosic like kind of melody line. It's like nice and simple, but it's so effective. Like that's what I fanboy. That's what I like. What wrestling call mark out. That's what I mark out on. I mark out on this. That's so cool. Like I wish I wrote that melody.
Yeah.
Like I imagine that for like a local song, and it's like they would play that, and then the singer would sing a chorus, and then go back to that, and then sing a chorus or something, right? Like you can hear the arrangement with somebody who's actually singing something. So,
and that's why I love Kyle Creator Boys. That's why I love Pure Heart, because you listen to Troy Fernandez's picking. It's like, and I was just telling these guys that like every single note is planned out. It has purpose. Like he's not playing stuff just to be fancy. Like he's playing a note to lead to another note, which is part of the melody line, or he's following the melody line like spot on. You know, it's every single note is calculated. Even when he's doing fancy stuff like, like every single one of those is leading up to the ending of that melody line. Like there's flourishes, yes, but it always has purpose, and that's what I really like, And I like I said, I love guys like Kahai, Taimane, Andrew Molina, like, and all these dudes, gals and dudes, and but I'm just missing that really like melody line that makes me mark out whenever I listen to like Fulani Pad. I just listen to Fulani Pad. I'm like, man, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good.
We just recorded with ukulele player, and like how he plays too. It reminds me of Troy too, because like they make sure that
that you player.
I don't want to spoil it because it's like gonna come up, but like they make sure to play when there's nothing else going on, right? Or like they make sure to play when they're not gonna step on somebody's foot, or like cover up somebody else. So you get to hear them, but then you also don't hear like it get muddy with other stuff.
And there's a video. Are we gonna release that video where I jam along with them?
I think we're planning to. Like...
Okay, so if you guys see that video, or if we release that video, same thing. Me and that ukulele player is kind of like, okay, so who's doing the next solo, and like even the phrases in between where you can solo, I'm kind of like, okay, I'm looking over, like, does he have his hand position where he was going? If his hand position's up here, I'm like, okay, he's gonna do something. But his hand position's down here, I'm like, maybe he might do something. But I'll listen to the first beat, and if he doesn't like play on that first beat, I'm gonna play on that second beat. It's really tough.
There's times though he was like throwing in some, like he was doing some Salt Bae, right? Like
Salt Bae.
That's a little tasty. Ooh.
Yeah, it's
and then goes back to just strumming, and then he's like, just a little bit more.
It was a dream come true, and we'll talk about this later when it comes out and stuff. But like I used to watch this guy play when I was a kid, and oh man, he's so good. He's still so good. It's so good.
We filmed that, and then we're all riding in the same car coming back to the office, and I think you said that. I think the reason why that a lot of people like playing with him, right, is because he makes other people sound good. Yeah. Like he doesn't try to make himself be like, listen to me play.
These musical enhancements.
Yeah.
All right.
So the best way. Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's see if we have any other questions, because there's a couple stuff I'm gonna do, and the songwriting challenge.
I don't think there's any more questions in the chat. So.
Okay. So let's talk about this. I want to talk about this actually, because we brought this, and the reason why I have this ukulele is because I brought my ukulele case into the studio. That's why I'm holding this one right now, which is a
lot shinier than usual, on camera.
So you can see the other one too. Like the other one is actually on the desk.
Well, the other one is a satin finish, so there's there's rarely any glare on it, but this one is so shiny, so shiny. Ooh.
One is your teaching ukulele made for the camera so that it doesn't shine as much.
Yeah. But this is actually my latest kanilea that I got, and you can see the sapwood in the back. It's beautiful. It's awesome. So nice master grade coil with slotted headstock, flat style slotted headstock. That's like how I like it. Kind of reminiscent of Martin's. Jake Shimabukuro has one as well. Gilbert tuners, so and so. put AGX AQ in there. Someone was asking, I think Sonny Vandenhol was asking what kind of strings I use. AG cross AQ. All right. Now, but see, it's not about this uke. See, what we're hyping out about is not this uke, and more so my ukulele case. So this ukulele case is a workhorse case, formerly Calton cases, but then it was bought out by someone else, and they turned it into workhorse cases, but they had the same molds as Calton and stuff. That's the legendary Calton cases. So this is my workhorse case, and I put a lot of stickers from my travels all around the world, and there's some new stickers that I just recently put on, like this Fontaine sticker, and I think I got some other
so does like Jake uses Calton, right?
Yes. So
does he still use his Calton case?
Yes, I believe the yellow one.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a yellow and black Calton case. So this, more importantly, the back, because I didn't add any new ones to the back. So here's all the stickers in the back. All right. So keep note of what this looks like. Now, Aaron the voice over here decided to take it upon himself
to make Manny a case.
Make Manny the Rooster an ukulele case for his ukulele. Let's show him the ukulele first. Because people have seen the ukulele before. So this is Manny the Rooster's ukulele. This is his uke. This is, what, $25,000 for this uke? This is...
We haven't had it for a while, though, because it needed new strings, right? Like the strings.
Yeah.
This is it. So Aaron decided to make a replica case that's exactly the same as mine, with the same exact color, with the same sticker. I just gotta show it. Here we go. So this is Aaron's ukulele case for this tiny ukulele. This is Andy's ukulele, so shout out to Andy's ukulele. But this, my goodness, I mean, it's spot on. Okay, let me show the back, because the back, I put new stickers since, I'll show the front too, I guess. So this is mine.
Can you maybe put it
there it is. Now, the back is gonna be the one that's like, oh no, I guess I put a what is it called? A rip and dip sticker back there. So here is the back of the ukulele case. Pretty spot on. And the thing is, like, he took pictures, and I guess he I mean, we'll talk about your process and stuff, but I just want to point out that, like, there are some, like, dings and nicks, like, on my ukulele case that he just replicated. It's amazing. Look at this thing.
Can you even open up your case and open up Aaron's case too? Because that is like.
Okay, so we're gonna open this case up.
Sorry for the audio podcast listeners.
Yeah, you
gotta
check this out.
This is what the inside looks like. Okay, don't look at my gross fretboard. Okay, this is what his looks like. Hot dang! What? What? That's so cool. All right, so Aaron, tell us about the process of how you made this. Exactly. What is this, like 16th, 8th?
Yeah,
8th scale.
I just scaled it down for exactly for that ukulele. So
so sick. So sick.
It's tiny Calton case basically. But yeah, so I took pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I took pictures of the front and back,
mm-hmm.
and then the sides for reference. Mm-hmm. And I had it printed on poster paper at the exact scale size that I wanted. And then I traced it out onto cardboard, and I made like a frame for it out of cardboard, and then I covered it in paper mache. So that's kind of like what the thickness of it is, paper mache. And then what did I do? I used like for drywall, like the kind of to patch drywall, you use that kind of whatever drywall kind of filler material.
Okay. Not like caulk or
kind of, yeah, like I used that, and I coated the entire outside of it to kind of smooth out the surface, so it wasn't paper mache feeling, it was just kind of a smooth surface. let that dry, and then I spray painted it, or I primed it first, spray painted it, cut it, and then I gloss, like kind of lacquer coated the outside.
Oh, so sorry.
Fell out.
It's fine.
Yeah. But like the oh yeah, so like I added the posters on the outside, lacquer coated it, and then yeah, then pretty much just added all the other stuff
of this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in focus.
Oh, put it like that.
Yeah.
So sick.
So
sick.
Like, it's so good that you can use it for like a forced perspective video, right?
Yeah.
Like where
Like
this
a
would
giant...
be closer, and then like Aldrine comes and picks it up, and it's tiny.
Yeah,
it looks like
tiny.
the full size one, but it's just
So good.
So
it's all in there, dude. It's all like let's see, there's Ukulele Underground Philippines underneath here. Underneath the Ukulele Underground. That's from when we went to the Philippines. This is from Chicago. This is a record store in Chicago that we went to. Let's see, Honoka Nazita. This is Eraserheads. The Kuchikopi when I went to Bento Box Studios where they make Bob's Burgers. Pixar, went to Pixar. This is my friend Marianne Chang who did the design for the AG Cross AQ. She has a website called Fat Shiba, like PHAT Shiba, and she makes like little Fat Shiba shirts, and it's really cute. So just check her out. Mucho Aloha, which is like a beer here in Hawaii.
Oh,
and actually,
California.
It was here because the Tenbergs, Tenberg brothers, kind of started it and stuff. So when they were, that's why I passed it over, because like they're like, oh, we got bought out and blah blah blah. Blah. We're not happy with it, so I was like, okay, let's just patch it up with a Fontaine sticker. Ribby from Thailand is our friend Mike Hind. This is another record store that we went to. I believe it's also in Chicago. Reckless Records. This is from the Philippines. This. Jose Rizal with some shades.
Oh yeah.
My wife is a Ducks fan. This is Dead Man's Youth. This is when we went to Japan. Aloha Exchanges from Kauai. Pixar once again, and same thing. Marianne did this Pikachu and Glaceon, I believe. We have Aquila. More Pixar. Thumbs up from Japan. Lesson on the Ground. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a
failed attempt of
attempt.
Ukulele Underground.
Coco,
but it evolved into private lessons. So
that's true. Yeah. It's true. But yeah, good stuff. So it's basically from all my travels, and he just recreated. Like if I'm just looking at this like this, I would think it was my case.
You're holding your case,
it would be like my old case. But then I would be like, wait a minute, why is my hand so big around the case? I know my hand is huge, but it's not that big, So that's pretty awesome, man. So, good job, Aaron. So cool.
When did you take that picture to make the stickers?
Oh, it was a few months ago.
So it's almost like a time capsule too of like a couple months ago.
Yeah. Well, my case is ever evolving. There's like a bunch of stickers underneath, like those stickers that I'm guessing were pretty important, but just got scruffed up. Yeah, so cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I also added like these kind of pins on the outside.
Oh yeah, just like mine.
Yeah, because there are like pins. Bumpers on the outside to kind of like keep it from scratching. So yeah, so there's kind of like little pins.
Did you put it in the right places?
Yeah,
like,
and it's also missing one where you're missing one.
That's right. Oh man, it's so accurate. Here in the back. I am missing this one. Oh man, that is spot on. Good job, man. I mean, I knew it was gonna be good, but that is legit. So, anyone else with an Andy's Uke, what if they came up to you like, Aaron, could you make me one of those?
Oh, it took me basically like all my free time for the past couple weeks just to do that.
I think.
So that's one of one. You're not gonna make any more of those.
I mean, well, I guess anybody has a price, right? but yeah, it was kind of ridiculous how much effort I put into it But
and you're matchy with your case. You're wearing a mint green shirt right now too.
Not really, but yeah.
Right on. So with the last few minutes, let's set up our new songwriting challenge. So we are going to erase this one. Let's just do it. You guys have a wet paper towel that I can use too.
Oh yeah.
So. But yeah, that is awesome, man. So 2 weeks took you?
Yeah. I think Aaron is like what you would say is the least nerdy or dorky out of all of us.
So cool, man.
But he always does stuff like that where it's like, dang, this is really good.
So cool.
Because Aaron, you also made a ooze container, right? Like from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, so I made like a fish tank, like the TGRI from Ninja Turtles 2, the ooze container.
Yeah.
I made a replica and I turned it into a beta tank, like for my beta fish.
That's cool. Yeah. When I was in college, we would buy those glass like Voss water and stuff. Like me and my roommates, we just get a bunch of those and fill those up with like green tea, so it looked like we had like ooze containers in our refrigerator for green tea.
I like how you went to the trouble of not only buying that, but then refilling it with another liquid.
It's pricey too. It's like $5 for one of those or something. It was not cheap. So yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, Voss water. I'm like, no, it's filled up with like tap water tea. Green tea. Okay, so let's see. Any ideas? Let's go to the audience.
We actually had some ideas from the forum because I told them, and then like Kahai said, how about Hawaiian vamp and hammer-ons and pull-offs? So
okay, Hawaiian vamp and hammer-ons and pull-offs. So that's for we'll put those in the extras.
The bonus.
Yeah, bonuses. Yeah, that's more of a bonus thing. So let's establish a key. Let's do. You guys want to C this time?
Yeah.
Because we did G, we did F, and we did A, I believe, right? So let's do C. Key of C. I know we've done C before, but if we're gonna be doing Hawaiian stuff and pull-offs and whatnot, key of C. T, C, and chords that they have to have there. Let's just say one major and one minor chord.
You have to have at least one major and one minor? Ooh.
Yeah. One major chord and one minor chord. So that is the only like required, I guess, you know. But the only thing that's required for this challenge is you got to be in the key of C. You have to have one major chord and one minor chord. Now let's establish the bonuses. So bonus, Hawaiian vamp. Okay, Hawaiian vamp and pull-offs and what?
Hammer-ons.
Hammer-ons and pull-offs. Can't spell hammer.
I think something from the last challenge. I think I saw pretty much everybody do everything but this. Like, of course, always lyrics too, right?
Okay,
We're gonna put lyrics, but something that I didn't see anybody really attempt with the last challenge is a disco song.
Okay, disco.
I think there's like some cowboy songs, you know.
Yeah, Aaron did a nice little country western cowboy song.
We'll see if anybody can come up with something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
Do you want to do? We haven't done like a time signature or like something kind of weird like that too, either.
Uncommon time signature.
So just anything except for 4/4.
Yeah. That's a signature. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. That's what it says. Ran out of space. Okay, so this is our challenge. It has to be in the key of C, and you have to have one major chord, one minor chord, all right? And the extras are, put a Hawaiian vamp, add some hammer-ons, so pull-offs, lyrics, disco song, or uncommon time signature. I would like to see a disco song with a Hawaiian vamp. I would like to see. Therein lies the challenge, folks. All right, so as usual, we take all the you can submit your song challenges onto a thread over on UU Plus forums, and we'll pick one or a few of those, and we'll give them a nice little prize. All right. So, a signed deck of cards from Kahai, signed bicycles.
Signed, like the $1 bikes.
$1 bikes, yeah, from Costco. $1 bike.
I can go $2 tally hos. They're my favorite cards, though.
Uncle Scrooge over here with his lots of money. Scrooge McDuck.
Yep.
All right, so thank you so much for joining us here on Thursday Live Lesson. I hope you guys had a good time. Thank you so much for listening, for all of you podcast listeners. But make sure to check out Ukulele Underground and sign up for UU Plus if you want to watch, because a lot of today, especially just to see Aaron's ukulele, is pretty worth the price of admission. It's pretty uncanny. It's spot on. All right, so thank you so much. Check out ukuleleunderground.com. Sign up for UU Plus to take your ukulele playing to the next level. We have some awesome stuff going on at UU Plus. We have some private lessons. We have Thursday live lesson videos. We have practice sessions that we just talked about earlier. That's on UU Plus. I talked about Kahai. He has a lesson here on Ukulele Underground. Plus and a bunch of other stuff too. So make sure you check that out. Okay. So I'll see you guys next time. Tomorrow we are going to be live from Denver, but it's going to be at the same time, 1 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time, and that's 5 p.m. Denver time, Mountain Time, right? So that in Denver we're going to be at live at 5 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time is going to be 1 p.m. Okay, so same time as we usually do every week. Tune in. We're going to be live from Denver. I don't know if we're gonna be live for the whole hour, because I don't know when we're gonna. If we get cut off, then we get cut off. But you know what? I have the utmost faith in Kahai, and he's gonna get it on. We're gonna be streaming for 3 hours, and right, Kahai?
I'm worried we're not gonna make it through the 1 hour
to the first song,
and not because of like any technical problems. We got a long flight ahead of us.
So all right, guys, we'll see you folks next time, or for all you Denverites, we will see you over in Denver. Have a great one. Aloha. Great. Bye.